Hello, this is Shane is Bored, and today we're going to take a look at Gremlins Incorporated. In a recent video, I called Tharsis the board gamiest PC game, and oh, hell was I wrong. Gremlins Incorporated is a straight-up board game, so let's go ahead and dive right in. We're going to do a single-player match so you get a feel for the game. This game really seems to be geared towards multiplayer sessions, but we're not going to deal with any of that for the learning experience. We're just going to go ahead and hop in with the, say, just business, kind of a standard scenario here. So the rough idea is you are playing cards to move around the board and you're trying to collect victory points with which to win. You're allowed to discard things you don't want to start with. I'm not going to really worry about all that too much. I'm just going to discard everything, I guess, because why the hell not? Bring, bring, banana phone. Boop, boop, ba-doo, ba-doo. Sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and move my head down a little bit. So there's not really a lot of vital information here in the corner. Kind of a weird place to be filming from, but then you can actually see what the hell is going on. So you can see we have the main board here, and there's little arrows, if you look, that show you the direction you get to move. The interesting thing with moving is it's not controlled by a die roll. Your cards over here serve multiple purposes, including moving about the board, as well as various awesome abilities that you can do. Looks like this game I'm playing as, whatever this blue douche is, the manager. There are special abilities, but not in the training session, so I'm not going to really overthink a whole lot of these things. So as you move about the board, various spaces do different things. Most of the spaces are bad, actually. The majority are bad. This one, you get to roll the die. If you get a 1, you get a misfortune card, which are all bad. You can buy in search to mitigate that, but I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna be fine. Yeah, I got a 5. That's right, the danger passed me. Danger passes by. So after I move, everyone else gets their turn. And it moves along actually pretty quickly. The AI is not oh, I wonder if we're gonna go to jail. That is one of my major complaints with these. Oh, I'm in jail, by the way, so let's see how long I'm in there for. That is one of my major complaints with doing the single player sessions, is the other computer characters just crap all over you constantly. It's like all of them are playing to specifically screw you over. When you do get in jail, you get to choose a behavior. I'm going to be a good little two-shoes, try to get out of there. You pick a card, and cool, less jail time, but my jail rep goes down. Oh no, totally do that. If I didn't like that card, I could pick the other one, but then I'm stuck with it. Still got one more turn of jail, though. Just gonna enjoy that. This is easily my least favorite mechanic in the entire game. It really slows down the pacing. It's not even that bad. In jail, you can even have some interesting or profitable things that happen to you. Hey, like I can choose an opponent who pays you 40 of the monies, and they lose a malice point, which we'll cover that in a little bit. Let's see what the other one is. Gamble, just a roulette. Cool, so we're gonna gamble. I realize you have no idea what's actually going on right now, because we got into jail and I got a little pissed off about it. So we'll get back to actually explaining the game now-ish. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you see your character portraits, and it gives you some vital information. You're going to see you have an amount of money. That's the currency you're spending to do stuff, because, you know, money. This little blue spot are votes that you can acquire. As you get those, there are eventually votes for governor, which is kind of cool, helps you out for some things. And there's also malice points. These are generally bad to have, and you don't want them. You also have your victory points, as well as your income, and whatever bribes you have to pay. We're finally out of jail, so we can go ahead and start playing the game again. Let me use this little, wait. Oh, okay, I almost made a huge mistake. So to really see any information on the cards, you have to mouse over a lot of the details. You can actually turn on so that the card information is always showing. I find it a little obnoxious because I actually really like the art in this game. So it's a little obnoxious, but if you want to see the information, you have to mouse over to see what that does. Some of them will have a movement modifier. Like this one, for example, if I use it, I have to skip my next turn if I use this card, which sucks. So we're going to do this, and I guess we'll move 5 spaces. So every time you pass an income space, you gain that much money. Come on! Fucking arrested again? Again? I'm going to jail right away again. Off to an awesome start. God. Let's see how long I'm in jail. I better roll a 1. Do I get a... Oh, 5. Only 2 turns. That's not so bad. Suck. So some spaces as you move along will actually trigger whether you land them or not. The income space, for example, you get paid just for passing it, double if you land on it. Any space that has a little icon down in the corner there triggers when you went past it. That's why I went to jail, because I got a misfortune card dealt to me, which sent me to jail for the second time. Eventually I'll get to actually play. Oh cool, maybe I can do something now. Wouldn't that be awesome? Police spaces, if you don't bribe them, they try to arrest you. On a 1, you go to jail. You know what? I'm feeling lucky after the last 2 times I was in jail. Yeah, suck it. No jail for me. So as you're moving along the board, things do things. Now the cards also have a second purpose that you can use them when you land on specific locations. Let's see if I can trigger one of those. Unfortunately, I wanted to use this banker's benefits card, but I don't have any votes, so I can't actually pay the cost. Any cost is in the upper right hand corner. But the banker is still, generally speaking, a really good place to land on because I can spend money to increase my income. Now you've probably noticed there's these little houses along the way. Boop, 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 boop. These are special locations that have special abilities. When you land on them, they give you different abilities, and it's where most of your cards are going to trigger. So those are very, very useful. So as an example, normally these spots with a little negative whatever, when you move past them, you have to pay whatever your current bribery is. If you land on it, you pay double, which is extra crap. However, we're gonna go ahead and land on the spot. Now you're gonna see the card, the right connections, has that little symbol, so I can choose to play this card, and I will. The special ability that is, instead of paying the bribe, I get paid my income. So for once, something not horrifically bad happened to me. Huzzah! Sure. Inflation, everybody loses half their money. Of course I lose half my money, because I was just going to go to a spot to pay money for a card, and now I can't afford it. Yeah. So yeah, this game has a little bit of a luck element, you might say, in the sense that you're gonna get constantly screwed. Normally, you can mitigate it pretty well, but there are times where it just feels like everything is just constantly crapping all over you. So these are gambling spots. You can choose to gamble, you don't have to, but I can use the posier, pusser, poser. And when I use him at a gambling spot, whatever die number I roll, I get votes in the election. So 4 votes plus I made out with $50. Things are looking up a little bit in Gremlins Inc. And this is basically the flow of the game. Like, you're going around, landing on spaces, trying not to get screwed, trying to get the most victory points. In this case, first person to 30 points is the winner. As you can see, I have 0. So that's cool. If you're ever not really sure how the movement's going to work out, if you mouse over a card, it'll highlight the spots that you can move to with said card. There's a slight highlight on spaces you can go to. If you click on that, it'll give you the card options that you can move with. Honestly, it's not really that difficult to figure out what you're doing, but still probably a good idea to know these things. I'm going to just try to zip around the board and get back to the banking spot because I have a good card where, assuming I get the money and I don't get totally screwed over, I'll be able to really get my income going. Yeah, I'm feeling lucky. Are you feeling lucky, punk? Yeah, I was fine. Cool thing with the house spaces, you don't need an exact movement. I was gonna... Oh, hang on, decision. I have to trade a card because of an ability that somebody did. So sure, why not? And we'll give them something else that I wasn't gonna use. This does bring me to my second very big complaint with the game, especially when you're not familiar with it and you're trying to play. It's kind of difficult to figure out what the hell the computer did or is doing to screw you. Like, he played easy gamble, great. And he lost 25, but you don't really know why. You don't have a lot of context for it. Now, it does give you a rundown of the various moves, so you can click on them and it kind of gives you an idea. But even then, it pops up with it, says, oh, used easy gamble. You can summon it. This is a lot of effort just to see what the hell happened. Well, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good at all. I'm sure it's something that screwed me, because everything else in this game is something that screws me. This is the problem. I have no idea what that actually meant or what it did. But that's not entirely true. Having played this, I kind of have an idea of what that means, but you have no clue when you start this. So again, I've landed on a spot. This is the boot or the dump spot. Dump spot. Poops. I'm gonna play this card, only costs 10, so I'm gonna get -2 mouse, which I don't have any, and some votes, which is awesome. We'll dig through the dump. It does almost nothing. In this case, it did literally nothing. Learning to play this game is honestly not that difficult. The tutorials do a relatively good job. It's just that there's so much of it that comes at you so fast when you're first playing that it all seems very confusing and very difficult to really get a hold of what you're doing and how you should be doing it. Oh, so while I was mousing over this card to remember what the hell it does, the One-Armed Bandit, some cards are permanent, and when you acquire them, they stay in play and give you abilities. Those are usually marked with a green thing. I'm not going to worry too much about that because I want to trigger this card. So again, normally police base is negative. They might try to catch you. But we're going to use this card in Inspection, where we get to look at someone's hand, and we try to guess what kind of cards they have in their hand, and they have to pay us for each of those. So I'm going to say he's got... Actually, I've seen a lot of these come through. So we're going to say Courthouse. I think that's the Courthouse. I didn't have any, so it didn't work out. But I got to see his hand, which I don't really care about that much, because probably it's going to send me to jail. Now, you might have noticed the cards over yonder. Some of them have a red little border on them. Some have a blue border. Those are... You know what? I honestly don't remember what the red cards are, but they're bad, illegal, nasty, nasty, illegal cards. But if somebody looks at your hand and you have them, you get sent to jail. So I'm actually surprised someone hasn't looked at my hand yet and sent me to jail again. Okay, I can roll with that. So we're going to go up to this spot. The thing with the illegal cards is it's best to use them relatively quick or just get the hell rid of them, because otherwise they are a liability. So... we're going to go here, and we're going to play Offense, which increases my mouse, gives me 200, but I get to choose a player that loses 2 victory points. The marketplace would be so cool if I had victory point, because I can sell it for 200 bucks. I think 1 point is usually worth it, but I don't have any, so it's going to have to be a fat no for now. Okay, so here's a fun thing you can do as well. So we're going to do 3 spaces. When you land on an opponent's space, this causes an opposition to happen. Nope, player conflict. That's what it's called. So you both spend an amount of money secretly, you don't know how much, and whoever spends the lowest goes to jail. I've got quite a bit of money. He only has $69, so we're just gonna spend $69 and send his ass directly to jail. Now they know how it feels, and I hope it feels bad. I'm gonna take a risk. No jail, no jail, no jail! Yay, no jail! The more you play this game, the more you become familiar with the intricacies of it and how it works and how the game develops and goes along. It actually becomes a lot easier to manage, and you get a real feel for the flow of the game, the flow of the board. Generally, it seems like a good idea to get your income up, not to really worry about victory points. Yeah, I'm feeling lucky, punk. You feeling lucky? Oh God, I shouldn't have felt lucky! I'm not lucky! Son of a whore! Well, at least I'm only in there for 4 turns. You can actually do naughty cards and neutral cards, and your jail rep can go up, which in a longer game might pan out because the higher your rep goes, the better jail cards that you get. I'd rather just get out of jail quickly myself, so I don't generally bother with that, but it seems like a cool mechanic. I don't know. Yeah, damn right I'm free. I will run my ass out of there. And eventually I might even get to a space where I can do something. But I wouldn't count on that. Ever. Oh yeah, not even close. Cool thing with elections though is at least you lose half of your votes, so it keeps it hopefully a little even. Since I had the lowest malice, I actually got a 3-point bonus, which was helpful, but not anywhere near enough. This is really a board game. You can actually make this into a board game the way that it runs down. Visit by the president, so he's going to come. We're all going to make bids, and whoever bids the lowest loses 2 victory points. As if I even begin to care. Yeah, what are you going to do to me? I have nothing. Ugh. Player conflict. We both have about equal money. I really don't want to go to jail, but I also like to eventually be able to afford things. We'll try 100 bucks, see how that goes. That's right. Back to jail, banker. That's what you get. That's what you get. So now that we showed you the game a little bit, we're just going to kind of dial this back, have some final thoughts on the whole thing. And frankly, I'm doing just awful anyways, so I don't even know if it's really worth continuing to try to get myself out of this train wreck. Oh, good, I can move my face back to a place that's not completely stupid. So some final thoughts on Gremlins. I hope that gave you a rough idea of how this game plays. I realize I complained and yelled a lot. This game can be extremely infuriating. Not always, but oftentimes they're just things that happen that are outside of your control, and it's extremely frustrating. Since I've been doing single player, I haven't worried about it, but I have rage quit a couple times, just being like, you know what, screw it, not worth it. I'm just gonna move on and play again. But that's the thing, I do play again. And then that gets done and I play another game, and then some other time I'll play another game because it is actually a very well thought out game and very entertaining as well. The movement mechanics are actually pretty solid, pretty neat. The dual purpose cards really shine in this because the covering movement makes a lot of decisions. Now, even though I didn't get to actually do a lot of the things I was setting out to do, you probably noticed there are many points where I really did have to make a choice of whether it was better to land here or trying to plan out my movement to hit certain spaces along the way. This is where Gremlins Incorporated really succeeds, is those small tactical choices. Now, because it is a fairly chaotic game with a lot of stuff happening and just bad things gonna happen for no damn reason, it makes long-term planning much more difficult. So this is definitely on the lighter side of a board game, much more tactical than strategic. You're really making a lot of decisions that add up in the long run. So I hope this video has been useful, or at least you can laugh at my terrible misfortune. This has been Shane is Bored. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up so that I know that you liked it, because I'm not very confident and it would make me feel better about myself. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe, and then you'll be alerted to new content as it comes out. That's all I have for this video, so until I see you next time, game on.